everybody? It's Krista Living Sober here. I want to apologize for not putting out an episode last week, but we adopted a new puppy and I've been so busy with work and with the puppy, all three of our dogs now. It's been hectic, but it's been happy hectics. Like, my life is full of so much joy and happiness. It's radiating through my pores. But welcome back. Today's episode, I really want to talk about practicing gratitude, and I want to talk about gratitude in general and how it can help you change your mindset in recovery and how it can shape you to experience life in a more brighter way, because we all need that, seeing life in a dark way is so sad, and my life was like that forever. Let's dive in. So, the quality of being thankful, readiness to show appreciation for and to return kindness, thanks, appreciation, recognition, all these definitions show us what gratitude is defined by. But what is gratitude really? What is it? For some people, it may be more than being only thankful and appreciative. Gratitude is an action word, but it's also an emotion. Gratitude is a warm feeling of thankfulness towards the world or towards specific individuals. The person who is thankful for what they have does not constantly seek more. You guys, that practice of being okay with what you already have is the key to unlocking gratitude in life. It lets you see a whole new perspective on how life can truly be okay with what you already have, rather than what others might have, or rather than what you might think you want more of. So, gratitude is learning to be content. Gratitude is also being an emotion, so it's going to make us feel happier. Gratitude is also a mood as well as a personality trait. So some people are more inclined to feel grateful as a daily habit over how others feel. Meaning, it comes easier to others like some other things in life, but cultivating and grasping gratitude takes practice and time, just like anything else in life does. So nothing is just handed to us to make us better, you guys. We have to put the work in. Many studies show that there are specific areas in our brain which are involved in experiencing and expressing gratitude. These brain scans show that people who experience gratitude more frequently will experience a stimulus in the prefrontal cortex, which eventually heightens sensitivity to future experiences of gratitude. So the more gratitude a person feels, the more the brain will light up in that area with the gratitude, and it will kind of like keep it there, replacing all these negative emotions that somehow keep stuck in the prefrontal cortex. So gratitude basically comes in and like erases all that, and that's pretty freaking cool. But practicing and feeling grateful are something that you have to practice to feel grateful. It's a cycle. Practicing and feeling grateful boosts our happiness levels and adds in both physical and psychological health, especially with those of us who experience mental health issues. Studies also show that practicing gratitude daily can help us stop expressing negative emotions that arise inside our minds. When we practice gratitude, it will literally shift our inner attention away from negative emotions like resentment, envy, and it decreases the possibility of becoming stuck in episodes of depression. When we start feeling and practicing being grateful, magical things happen, including feeling less pain and less stress. You will sleep better. You will overall be healthier because your immune system will function more properly. Our relationships become dramatically healthier, and studies also show that people will do better both academically and professionally. That's pretty amazing. How do we start gratitude? Some people might have never practiced gratitude in their life. So they're probably like, so I'm miserable. How do I get there? Well, it starts with a view of all the good things that we are blessed with in this lifetime. We have to focus on the good instead of focusing on all of the bad things. Gratitude is getting rid of all of our wants and all the things we think we need in life. Gratitude gives us a better future, and it restores hope that we might have lost along the way. Gratitude gives back meaning to our lives. So when we start practicing gratitude, we are not plagued by these haunting thoughts and feelings. We feel good and we can slow down, and we are able to focus on present moments, not having to worry about future concerns. So a really huge impact on my gratitude journey was giving thanks to God, to my higher power. And when I started praying again, not only did gratitude come back into my life, but so much did. Not only is gratitude, like most things in life, a very spiritual practice, but a thankful heart and a thankful voice that you lift to God on the highest in thanks, it gets special attention from heaven. You guys, God really hears our prayers. And I know a lot of you might not be spiritual, but I'm just going to put it out there and tell you that it's true. You don't have to believe in God. Like, if that's not who your higher power is, that's okay. You can have any higher power of your choosing. When we realize that everything is good and great in our lives is a result of God's goodness, and when we can truly see all things are made up of God's kindness, then a shift starts to happen around us. Our focus points narrow to being thankful to God, to our higher powers for all things. And this focal point becomes so rooted inside our minds, it becomes routine. And boom, gratitude is somehow now our second nature. At least that's what happened to me on my gratitude journey. We can learn how to start practicing gratitude, and then we can do it all the time. It might start out with one thing that we are grateful for, or we might write down a list of things we are grateful for. But once we do this and continue to do it daily and we make it habitual, then we can start to change inside our minds. Our minds will practice gratitude for all things because God is good and He made all things. There is this certain kind of beauty in the cycle of giving thanks to God and receiving it back in blessings, and then giving it back to others. It's just a beautiful cycle, and I think some people would actually consider that being karma, where what you get is what you give. So if you're getting gratitude, then you can give gratitude. It's so beautiful. And when you grasp it, when you finally feel it, you'll learn how beautiful that is as well. So in the beginning, and especially in early recovery, we sometimes lose all the walls and these barriers that we might have built up around ourselves, and we are emotionally more vulnerable in the world. And sometimes we are instantly bombarded with these emotions and feelings that come crashing into our minds, and it's a very overwhelming experience. Now, what do we do with all these negative emotions that are rising to the front of our minds? Before we could just drink all these things that arise away, and before we could take drugs and just become numb, we would numb them away, and we would forget for a little while how we were feeling right. But now we're at the stage in recovery where we have to face these emotions head on. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say that it's all easy, because nothing about recovering is easy. You're recovering. We have to go through these trials and tribulations in order to learn from these turbulent moments. Addiction brings up so many different emotions, including guilt, shame, remorse. And in these vulnerable moments, it's the perfect time to start cultivating a gratitude regimen so that we can eventually replace these nasty, haunting emotions with gratitude, which eventually replaces those emotions with hope, love, forgiveness, instead of these feelings of overwhelm and feelings of being lost. We can finally learn to come back to ourselves, and then, and only then, can we start eliminating emotional and physical triggers that are so easy to set us off. With gratitude, or rather having gratitude and practicing gratitude daily, our outlook changes and we can see beautiful, wonderful life for what it truly is. You guys, we don't have to be stuck looking inwards all the time and seeing and judging ourselves so critically, which gets us stuck in these bad feelings and negativity and despair. I remember always being and feeling so lost in my negative thought patterns and literally suffocating in pain and sadness. Like, life was so hard and it hurt. I felt worthless because my life felt worthless. It was such a dark and ugly place to constantly keep any good thoughts imaginable in. I swear, though, when I started practicing gratitude and when I started to give thanks to God, to my higher power, I felt the miserable emotions and despair leave me for good. I remember laying in bed at night at the Salvation Army, and I was giving thanks to God for a chance to start over, a chance to become new again. And I asked Him to remove all my anxieties and all my negative emotions. So the next day I wake up, and I'm so peaceful. And I kept this peace for the days to follow. And I kept becoming more bright and more full of meaning and more full of true joy. God answered my prayers, and He answers all of our prayers when we take the time to pray to Him. Prayer is gonna be tricky for a lot of people because some people fear God. There's this fear that surrounds, sinning, and many different religions are so different when it comes to prayer. But like in the Buddhist culture, or these in different cultures, prayer is seen as meditation. So sometimes a good place to start cultivating gratitude is to start meditating. We can start sitting with our own thoughts and being still, and we can come to this place where we start cultivating those emotions inside of us. And whether or not we talk to God or whoever or whatever, that's meditating. And then you can turn that meditation into prayer. And that's really beautiful, because meditation is such a great way to help cure a lot of different things like depression and PTSD and anxieties. And it's a good way to come to know and to cultivate gratitude. I remember feeling so lost, so lost in my negative thought patterns. And, that feeling of suffocating in pain and sadness, life was really hard and it hurt. And feeling worthless because life felt worthless, that's such a dark and it's an ugly place to constantly live, constantly you down. my recovery and my new way of life is proof that God answers our prayers. It's proof that praying to Him works. My 2 years of sobriety is proof that with gratitude and among other positive influences in life that you can add into the mix, there is true joy to be had. There's peace to be felt and happiness to be experienced. I am so grateful to God, always God first. And I am grateful for my fiance, Steven, for a place to sleep, for clothes to wear, for food and water that we get to eat and drink. I am grateful for all of my past experiences because without them, I wouldn't be where I am today. So I have no regrets. But I am grateful for all these life lessons and experiences that had shaped me into this amazing, insightful being where I'm full of wisdom and all this truth that gets to come to me and through me. And, it's beautiful to be awakened. It's beautiful to gain certain insight and knowledge, to be able to share it with the world, with you guys. I am grateful for dogs and for things that bring automatic joy into my life. I am grateful for my mother who adopted me and for my father who adopted me. I'm grateful to both of them for raising me in a right way. I am grateful because they gave me a chance at life, just like I am grateful for God who gave me another chance at life. I'm grateful to all my counselors and therapists and the many different kind of teachers that I met along the way who helped shape me and who have helped me to recover. So this is how you do it, you guys. You have to lose the set mind where you think you deserve more or you think you need more, because that is not true. You look at homeless people or people who may have less than you, right? And you might think less of them, but in reality, in their minds, they have more than, they ever had. If it's just like a blanket, or a hat or a jacket, that's a lot to them. It might not be a lot to us, but it's a lot to them. So how do I put this? A great example is when I came to Salvation Army, we were only allowed limited amount of things to keep with us for the whole entire 6 months, right? And we were given new clothes to wear. We had to pick like 3 pairs of pants from the Salvation Army thrift shop. We had to pick shirts. We got everything from the thrift shop, the Salvation Army store. And I never lived that way. Did I think I deserved more? Maybe. But, you learn to live with what you are made. You learn to live with things and you learn to accept things for what they are better when you learn that you don't need as much in your life anymore. Sorry, I was trying to figure out how to put that so you guys could understand. But like I mentioned in the beginning, gratitude is about becoming content with what you have in your life now. And so go make a list or just keep writing about whatever it is that you are grateful for in the moment. It doesn't have to be so complicated. Keep building on that list daily. Pray and seek the truth. And eventually you will see amazing things start happening in your life just from cultivating and practicing gratitude. And if any of you need help with starting a regime or starting a daily meditation surrounding gratitude, I am here to help you with that. just reach out to me and we can start today, it sounds scary and it sounds, unknown and unfamiliar, but gratitude, it's such a powerful thing that helps you in life and in recovery and whatever it is that you're struggling with. It has the power to change negative to positive and like replace the negatives with the positive forever. It's a really magical gift from God, and we all can experience it. Have a blessed Monday, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to my podcast. And stay tuned for episode 6. Thank you guys. I love you so much. This is January 2nd, and today's topic is take a deep breath and talk to God. Sometimes when we pray, a remarkable thing happens. We find the means, ways, and energies to perform tasks